We go. Let's get this party started. It's a little late. It's like 10 o'clock. But I got a little while. Need to get some stuff done. So I want to test some games. So I have to retest a lot of stuff on here. And then another issue that I just ran into that I can easily fix is a while back, I was trying to get the artwork for Dragon's Lair and Dragon's Lair 2 on here. And just 2 minutes ago, I ran the Universal XML scraper and I screwed everything up because I accidentally did it on the Pi. So I don't have the artwork here. But if you go into ROMs, it has the artwork for everything. And you just have to select the right one. So I got to fix that. That ain't right. Country Cletus, what up? Raymond Roman, what up? John, what up? Yeah, I know it's kind of late. I just figured might as well jump on and, you know, do some stuff, I guess. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. But I just want to test some. I got to go. I'm going to go through all the arcade stuff on this again. And I have been very busy lately. So I need to finish this up, but I got to redo a couple things. 1 a.m. in the morning, New York time. That's right. What is it? It's 10 here. So yeah, 3 hours later. But yeah, that's the one thing. I got to fix Daphne. Kind of, it is what it is, but it's all good. Let me know if the sounds are coming through fine. I'm not really going to, I might play a couple games here, but I just want to double check on a bunch of stuff. Appreciate it, Country Cletus. Raymond, yeah, those little arcades. Oh, where do I got them? They're on a table over there. But yeah, those things are pretty sweet, man. It's funny. I know I said like I went to like 6 Toys R Us's, and I legitimately did. And I think, I'm trying to think, because I went back to the same Toys R Us that I got Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man for something else, and I just checked and they didn't have anything. And then I went to another one that was like a half hour away, and they had Space Invaders, so I grabbed it. And then from there, I drove to another one that was like 40 minutes away, and they didn't have anything, but I mean, they had some stuff, and I bought something, and then they were like, I bought something else for like my kids or something. They were like, oh, did you find everything you were looking for? And I'm like, nope. And they're like, oh, what were you looking for? And I was like, oh, I was trying to find one of those tiny arcades. And I was like, you guys have them, but you only have Pac-Man. And the girl was like, oh, were you looking for Galaxian? And I'm like, what the heck? I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, yeah, I'm looking for Galaxian. And she said, well, I sold the last one. And she said some guy came in and bought like almost the whole case that they had and just left a handful. And she said that he said he was going to resell them. I was like, that's nonsense. I wanted it to play with the dang thing. But oh well, that's all good. I eventually found it. It just took a while. But I got them. Just took driving all over the damn place. So that kind of sucked. But it was what it was. You know, it was kind of fun going out and going on the hunt. $1943. Yeah, I drove like, if you live in Southern California, which I know some people who watch my channel do, but if you're accustomed to where I, you know, kind of the location I'm at, I'm in Beaumont. So there's a Toys R Us in Moreno Valley, and then there's one in Redlands, and then I went to one in Upland, one in Chino, one in, I think it was Menifee or Murrieta, maybe. I don't know. It was all over the place. But just from those few cities, if you are familiar with Southern California, you'll know that's crazy driving all over the place. But I think that Miss Pac-Man and Pac-Man are the best ones out of the set. But each box, it seems like they mostly come with that. And then just, I think, maybe one or two of Galaxian and Space Invaders. But it's all good. Appreciate it, Joshua. What up, Mediterranean Mud Cake? Mitch, good morning from Paris, France. For sure. Yeah, you got to say France, because isn't there a Paris in Texas or something like that? I'm pretty sure there is. But wow, appreciate you stopping in, man. Really do. I'm like anal, like I don't know if you want to say anal, but just like excessive. Like I've double checked these arcade games so many damn times. I just want to make sure they're legit. A Donkey Kong one would be freaking awesome. I think a Donkey Kong one would be sick. A Galaga one would be awesome. But I guess with the little tiny screens on those, it can't be too complicated of a game. But they managed with, you know, Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. You know, you can see the sprites are downscaled quite a bit. Yeah, you know, the pixels are not very many pixels, but it still looks awesome though. Over in Riverside, so then Castro, you know what the heck I'm talking about, all the driving I did. That Toys R Us, I don't know if that's Moreno Valley or Riverside, but I'm pretty sure you know the one I'm talking about on off of Day Street, over by Hooters and all that stuff. Well, I guess that kind of depends on what part of Riverside you're in, because Riverside's a pretty big city. Heiko Bruch, greetings from Germany. Appreciate it, man. Really do. This one's just, you know, kind of, I'm just testing stuff and just decided, you know what, why not stream and just chat it up, because, you know, I might play a couple games here and there, but I just want to double check these arcade games to make sure they're functioning, make sure my bezels are set the way I wanted them. Ace Attacker, what is this? Oh, I remember this. I played that one. Yeah, Moval. I always get confused because it's kind of like border that area. Operation Wolf came as a mini. Man, I could, if they made like a ton of these little things, I would go broke. I shouldn't have even bought the ones I bought, but I just wanted them so bad after people were showing them off, and I seen talk about them a while back. And I thought they looked slick. And then, you know, $20, it's a little, you know, it's a little pricey, but for the novelty of it and just how cool they are, I figured why not? Tapper. Tapper is awesome. I was gonna say, like, can you shoot in this game? Like, what the hell's the point? Whoa. Ejected. What the hell? Ejected again. Let me exit out of this. I wonder if my favorites are still just Pepsi Man. I think I went just crazy. with stuff and I reset my favorites, but that's okay. I don't know. I know I keep a mini 1942. Hell yeah. I would pay like $40 for that. I don't know, you guys that have been following me on my craziness with printing all these Sega Saturn repros. I don't even know if this is coming up on the screen, but I just did this one. Probably doesn't look good because of the green screen, but Radiant Silver Gun. And it's shiny and protected because the top is printed. So it's Sega Saturn repro. Printed the tops, you know, the top of it, and then I put an acrylic UV protectant coating on it. So I had that one. I don't know, I've just been going crazy with these. Panzer Dragoon 2. Awesome stuff. I love the Sega Saturn. I just got deep into it again. And G Dilla, what up? Yeah, I don't think I showed you G Dilla. I don't think I showed you the Radiant Silver Gun one, but it's pretty awesome. I'm gonna be doing some like cases for these as well. So I've got like a stack of them that I've done for myself. And then G Dilla, as soon as you get that pseudo Saturn hooked up, I got you, man. I got you. Sammy, I print them on an inkjet printer that has a disc tray in it. Like, I have a printer that I used to use for business purposes, but it's a laser printer and you get very high quality prints out of it, but you cannot print onto discs with a laser printer, which is why they don't have trays for it and whatnot, because the laser printer, it's like uses heat and whatnot, and it would just mess up the discs. So you use an inkjet printer, and I have this Canon inkjet printer that I just ordered off of Amazon, and it was like not even 80 bucks. And I've had good experiences with Canon printers in the past. So I was kind of debating on what to get, and I just finally was like, screw it, I'll just get this Canon printer. Even though I don't really need another printer, I bought this printer just to print onto these discs. That's just how crazy I am. But with the inkjet, like, I don't think I have any of them I haven't coded, but with the inkjet, if you just print to a disc, like, even after it dries, you know, if you touch the artwork, like, over time, it's going to fade off or wear off or, you know, smudge. So I put an acrylic UV protectant on it, and it kind of shines it up and makes it look real nice, and it protects it. So now if you get, you know, fingerprint, you know, whatever, it could wipe off. You're not going to mess up the artwork. So I've been just going crazy with that. Just, I don't know, I'm so in love with the Sega Saturn. Once again, I know I've said it before, but I had a Saturn way back in the day. But this dude right here, G Dilla, he's the one who, like, got me back into it, man. Because he started collecting a bunch of stuff, and, you know, he had a whole story where he wound up, you know, getting 3 Sega Saturns from deals and whatnot. And, you know, we wound up making a deal, and I got one from him, and I was like, man, these games are freaking ridiculously expensive. And from there, it was like I started looking into the modded stuff or doing the action replay, and I decided to go the modded route. That way I could, you know, I did get a, an official Sega Saturn 4 megabyte RAM card. So I wanted to still use that, and then I wanted to use the memory, the official memory that I also got from G Dilla. So I was, you know, just kind of stubborn in that sense. So I wound up getting a modded system instead of doing the action replay with pseudo Saturn, which is still that's the cheaper option, unless you know how to solder and do all the work yourself. But I just got deep back into it. Now I'm like, you know, I got not a huge stack. Actually, half of the games are sitting over there, but like a bunch of the Capcom games that are a little pricey, X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Street Fighter. Some of those, you know, there's ones that are more pricey than that. But I'm just like, man, I can't keep buying these games. So I think the cost savings in the long run works out for me, doing these repros, you know, and doing them, trying to do them as legit as I can. Not legit and, you know, passing them off as real deal things, because these ones, I have ones that are coming that you could print to the center. And these ones do say, you know, CDR and whatnot on them, and that's fine for me. You know, I got no issue with it. And like I said, this is not the official artwork that's on the discs. These are like custom. So I think they look good for me, instead of just having a blank CDR that just has nothing on the cover. I think it works. And then, like I said, I'm going to print the cases and all that stuff for them. You wish you could do that with Dreamcast. I've done a couple Dreamcast. It's just, I've had an easier time. Like, every Sega Saturn game that I've burned has worked. Every single one of them has worked. But for the Dreamcast, like, you know, GD-ROMs that the Dreamcast used had a lot more space on them than a typical CD-ROM does. And you can't burn Dreamcast games to anything but CDs. You can't burn them to DVDs. If you could burn them to DVDs, that would be great. But since the drive can't read DVDs, you're stuck with CDs, because a GD-ROM or GDR, whatever the hell they're called, is basically a modified version of a CD-ROM. So it's kind of, I've had hit and miss with Dreamcast burning games. Like, you know, I have a grip of stuff that I can burn, but half the time, maybe not half the time, somewhere around there, a third of the time, I'm just creating coasters instead of actual games that work. So Dreamcast has been hit and miss for me as far as getting the games. Like, the ones that have worked for me has been Ikaruga, Power Stone, the Street Fighter games, stuff like that. But a bunch of other ones that I've been trying to do just wouldn't work. Can't remember which ones they were. I probably have them on my desktop because I've tried them. No, I only kept the ones on my desktop that worked, which was the Street Fighters, Power Stones, Ikaruga. So I deleted the rest of them off of my desktop. Bam, presto. What? Oops. Exited out of that one. I wanted to try it, but whatever. And this is pretty much it with this image. I'm going to scroll through it right now to show you what's on here. But as far as... Okay, we stopped at Ajax. And I'm probably going to redo the order. I don't think I did the ordering yet on the systems. But this is... Let me go back. So we're sitting at 30 gigabytes, which is a 32 gigabyte card, used 28 gigabytes. So there's 702 megabytes left of space. With the 702, I don't want to add to that at all, because I want to be able to shrink this so it fits on, you know, every 32 gigabyte card. And so there's room for, you know, updating and saves and, you know, configurations and all that stuff. Because if you don't leave any space, you're screwed. You're going to run into errors. Your controls won't save. Your save states, you can't update anything. So stuff like that. So that 702, I have to leave it at that. Can't go back or can't add any more. But I'll show you what I've put on here so far. Or as far as systems go. So right now, arcade, we're sitting at 1,000 games available, but that could go down or up a little bit depending upon if I have to change anything, but I don't think I need to. I think everything's set. I just want to double check everything. If I find something that doesn't work, I'm just going to try to find a version that works. But I've gone through this list like 3 times already, and I'm pretty sure everything works. But this is the final time I'm going through it, making sure everything works. Everything's legit. So it should be sitting at 1,000 games as far as this build. Atari 2600, 306 games, 7857. Daphne, it says 36, but there's only 2. Like I said, I was having an issue. I have to redo this because I accidentally put all the ROM files for all the games. So I ran a universal XML scraper and it scraped everything, but none of these work because it's only these 2 games. So they work from here. And then if you could figure out which one is the correct one here, it'll boot up. But that doesn't look right. It shouldn't look like that. So 2 games there. Famicom Disk System 79. I wish I had the box art for everything, but some of the box arts for the Famicom Disk System won't scrape, but that's okay. Game Gear 255. Game Boy, what were we at? 544. Game Boy Advance, 989. Game Boy Color, 528. And these, I didn't get a lot of the box arts either, but that's all right. I'm going to redo everything at a later time and do video snaps. Master System 271. Master System, I think, was pretty complete when I went through here as far as the artwork goes. I need to double check that. That is not right. Hang On and Astro Warrior, so that doesn't need to be on here. That's a double pack. We'll delete that. Why? Oh, because of the thing over the E. I might have to change the naming on those just so they're actually readable. So that was 270 now. Genesis 554. I think Genesis was pretty good with the box art. And I think Drew Talks was the only one that told me he had an issue with a handful of games. And Genesis, and those were all fixed. And Nintendo 64, just three games that run with the proper emulators set to them. Neo Geo, I think everything's legit here. 140. Nintendo Entertainment System, 777. That's pretty good. This one doesn't have the logo, but I think this is pretty good with the box art. Neo Geo Pocket 8, Pocket Color 37. I love the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I had one. I actually had 2. And I had not all of these games, but I think a little over 20 of them. And I know my favorite, what was it? Match of the Millennium. What the hell was that game called? It wasn't just called Match of the Millennium though, was it? Oh, right here. SNK versus Capcom, Match of the Millennium. This game was pretty awesome. TurboGrafx 1694. Pretty much everything with the box art. It looking pretty good. Really like New Adventure Island, and then Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu is an awesome game. Hit the Ice, never played that. Might have to check that out. Ghost Manor. What kind of game is that? I'm gonna have to check that one out at some point. But yeah, we're looking good on TurboGrafx. PlayStation, nice handful of games. I think I Okay, we got all the discs for 7. And then Parappa the Rapper, I know Felipe told me how to get the box art for that. I have to double check that. And then Vagrant Story, I don't have the box art of the logo. Have to double check. But that was what, 21 games, 32x, 31 games. Bunch of awesome stuff there. SG 1000, 62 games. Super Nintendo, 763. What up, Realm chat? Jackie Chan Action Kung Fu is awesome. Virtual Boy 22. I think everything was complete in there. Yep. Castlevania is just a collection with a bunch of the Castlevania games. And I think... What up, Virgil? I don't know if I set the bezels for these. No, I did not. I have to do these ones individually. It's just something neat that Phil's Doodles hooked it up with for Castlevania, because he knows a bunch of us are big Castlevania fans. So we have a Swinecast Castlevania overlay. Which looks pretty good, I think. Your hands hurt from Cuphead. I tried playing Cuphead. It's a good game, but just, I don't know. I'm easily frustrated with stuff like that. But there we go. I got to go through all these, and I'm gonna put the Castlevania bezel on them. What was that? Oh, Haunted Castle. There's no box art for that. That's just the arcade Castlevania. Kind of game, you know, whatever. Mega Man, another collection just with all the Mega Man stuff that's on here. Little custom artwork from Phil's Doodles. Is it easy to just have collections in the main menu and have all the collections in there? Yeah, sure is. Wait, I think we had another, didn't we have... Okay, so this is Street Fighter collection. You can have let's see here. I'm pretty sure there was some. So if the collections are not themed, you can have it where you group the unthemed collections into a custom collection folder, and then you just select through everything. Let me see if I could switch to another theme real quick and show you, because this has the collections I'm using for the most part set up. Let me see here. Okay, so Metal Slug. Let me see. So these ones, watch, I'll show you right now. So those ones I don't have actual themes. I put DS on. I don't like running DS on RetroPie. That's just me. I don't know. I mean, some people like it. But here we go. Like, if you don't have themed collections, is this... Virgil, let me catch up on the chat. So Virgil just killed a sunflower. It took him 30 minutes doing the same 2 minutes over and over. See, I can't deal with that. I know there's a sense of accomplishment you know, with stuff like that. But that game's just frustrated the hell out of me. I might give it a go again. But custom collections, so you see here, these are collections that are not themed. So if you don't have themed collections, they'll all show up in here. That kind of thing. Star Fox 2. I need to change. I think I have the good art for that. But that's how that would work. A Kiwi's World. Is this a kid safe image? It could be, but I'm not going to say 100% that it is, because first off, there's a ton of not kid safe games on Famicom Disk System, for example. You know, and I was thinking about deleting them anyway because they're just kind of stupid. Like these lipstick games, I don't even want to go through them because they're just ridiculous. But those lipstick games, I'm thinking about deleting those. And I think there was a couple others. Yeah, we just went past them. Those Sailor Fuku whatevers. Like, what is that? Like, those aren't kid safe games. So I was probably going to get rid of those just because they're not good games anyway, in my opinion. But even after I get rid of those, I can't say for sure kids safe unless you're looking at just stuff like that. Then I would say yes, for the most part. I don't know if I have any of those weird arcade games. I'd have to go through them, which I am going through them now, because I know a previous image that I did, I tried to stay away from all that. What's up, Danny? Mohammed? Yakuza Ronin, what up, man? Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, Kiwi's World. That's how I grew up as well, you know, exposed to horror movies and crazy stuff from an early age. But, you know, for some, like, you know, the weird sexual content, I don't want my kids seeing that either. You know, other like violent games, I know my kids aren't idiots and they know, you know, zombies and fighting, you know, weird action stuff. It's just in the movies and games. So I don't worry too much about that. You know, I'm fairly protective of my kids, but I don't want to, you know, expose them to, you know, the weird sexual type stuff, you know, that they show in some of these, you know, weird games. So I wouldn't let them play that or look at that stuff. But most of the other games, I'm fairly comfortable with them if they came across them for the most part. Danny, I got an SNES Mini. Got any good mods for it? If you're looking for the software mods, I did a video previously on the dual boot where you can boot the NES and the SNES Mini on it, so you can have both systems in one. I don't know if that's something you're looking for. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be all PC either. You know, I'm not into all that, but yeah, those weird games, they just really don't have a place. Appreciate it, Tari. Catch y'all next time. Realm Chat, what up? Or you already been in here. Danny, that's what you're looking for? I could send you, I can put a link right now. Let me find it. There's another version. I haven't done the video on it yet, but there is another one that is a little more complex than this. But if you just want Super Nintendo and you know, add Super Nintendo games and have the NES dual boot, this is a good place to start. If you look at the links in this video, you'll see that there is an expanded version you can do. I cover the easier one to do the dual boot, where you can add Super Nintendo games, but you can't add Nintendo. But Nintendo, you get the original 30 games. Super Nintendo, you can add whatever you want. But if you go to that link that I have in that video, there's another tutorial to show you how to do both, where you can add to both. But my only issue is I haven't done a video on it yet, because even when I did it and people were like, oh, you should do this one instead, I still was getting errors. And I don't like that. I would rather just keep it essentially the way it is. Like I did the bezels, I added the bezels. I have a video, I think it might be linked in there, where you can add your custom bezels to the Super Nintendo and all that. So, you know, I can add Super Nintendo games, then I have the NES dual boot, so I can go to the NES and play the original NES Classic on there. And that's all I wanted, which is pretty awesome. We're actually going to be doing a video coming up pretty soon. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Yeah, doing the NES stuff, it crashes and whatnot. But the tutorial I did in that video, if you see, it says no errors. Like you don't get any errors or anything. Everything functions perfectly in that tutorial. But talking about the SNES Classic and then I guess some other Nintendo stuff, I do have these Nincades, which I'm going to be doing a video on these pretty soon, to where you can use any Bluetooth controller on your SNES or NES Mini without having dongles. Like this is a hardware mod that is very simple to do. These guys go inside the system and then you can use any Bluetooth controller. And like I said, these work on the NES or the Super Nintendo Mini, any version, and they're pretty sick. Like, so you can have your 8-bit-dos without having to have the 8-bit-do receivers, the little retro receiver things. These are like an internal mod that's very easy to do. Then the other thing that I'm hoping is going to be pretty awesome, but I'm going to have to put a lot of work into, is these universal fighting boards. And these are pretty cool. So if you have an arcade stick or you make an arcade stick, you can use these encoders to make it universal. Essentially, that's why they're called universal fighting board. And a lot of the people on a lot of these fighting game forums love these things. So these guys, you could convert any arcade stick or make your own arcade stick, and instead of using like Zenmo or Zero Delay or whatever encoder is in a pre-made stick, you can use this instead and convert your stick to a universal stick that can be used on the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, your PC, your Raspberry Pi with RetroPie, your Nintendo Switch. So I'm super excited to use these, but it's a little bit of work. I don't think it's overly complicated, but I got to really look into these before I do a video on them, so I want to make sure I do it right. But these are going to be pretty awesome to use on everything. And then other Nintendo stuff that I have that's going to be coming, that has to do with Nintendo, which I don't know. These are pretty cool to me, but these are game controller converters to where you can use Xbox or PS4 controllers on the Nintendo Switch. So I don't know, you know, I think these are cool. The Nintendo people love that. And then the other thing that I have that I'm going to be doing a video on is going to be this GameCube to Switch controller converter. So it's pretty cool. It's a little converter box. It looks like a little GameCube. You can plug in 4 GameCube controllers and use them on your Nintendo Switch. So that might come in handy if they wind up releasing Smash Brothers. I don't know. Or if you just have a bunch of GameCube controllers. So that's going to be pretty cool. So a lot of Nintendo based stuff coming up. But as far as the SNES Mini, those Nincades, I'm going to be using that in the video, and I think that's going to be pretty awesome. It's actually something I really wanted instead of having the dongles hanging out to use the 8-bit-dos, because those Nincades, you know, like I said, these go inside the system, and then you can use any Bluetooth. You can use a PS4 controller, a GameSir, anything that's Bluetooth. So any of the 8-bit-dos will work with these. So I'm excited to put these in one of my Super Nintendo Minis. I'm probably going to do it with the North American version. My PAL version I keep plugged in the living room. The US version I mod and hack and do all that stuff. So I'm going to put the Nincades in there so you guys can, if you're interested, look forward to that. So that's going to be a lot of content as far as Nintendo type stuff over a period of a couple weeks. And that's all sponsored by Brook, which pretty cool company. A lot of people love their stuff, so I'm super excited that they got in the talks with me. Yeah, why fix something that's not broken? I feel you on that. Using the first 128. Yeah, there's a lot of images out there, and a lot of people have done great work with the images they have done. I'm really impressed. The scene has really blown up over the past year as far as people jumping into it and getting deep into making images and providing stuff for guys and changing up the game. You know, not just the people that are putting out images, but all the guys that are working on themes, the people behind RetroPie, the people behind Emulation Station, just all the crazy updates and cool stuff coming out. It's just keeping the scene fresh. You know, I wish we had more support for other things, you know, like Nintendo 64, but you know, I'm over that. I don't care. I have a Nintendo 64 for those needs. And Sega Saturn just probably will never happen on the Raspberry Pi. Even emulation on PC is not 100%. So just the Saturn was pretty complicated. The hell? Either pick a boy or a girl. Why is there a bunch of pictures of the same one? Yeah, the scene has grown tremendously. And it's super exciting to see all the cool stuff that comes out. And I still, you know, I'm working on a lot of stuff with, you know, the Raspberry Pi. Just, you know, I vary my content to keep things growing. You know, don't want to, you know, it'll be stale if all I did was a video on RetroPie every single day. So I try to change it up, do some stuff that has to do with RetroPie, stuff that has to do with the Raspberry Pi that might not be gaming related. You know, like cases or maybe even the Google AIY, which I still need to get to that. Stuff like that's cool. And then doing, you know, the Nintendo stuff and Sega Saturn and Reproduction games and just gaming in general. So just trying to keep things varied and keep things growing around here. Kiwis World, can't wait to move to Australia and get a computer set up to finally extract the Hyperspin pack and get that going. Yeah, there's a lot of good Saturn games on there. A lot. You ever think about doing a virtual pinball rig? I have, and I know Game Room Solutions has a pretty nice kit to do that, but you still got to buy all the monitors and whatnot. So it's a very pricey, project, and I just, at the moment, I just can't afford to do it. But if I ever, you know, wind up being more successful at what I do and make more money, I don't know. But if I get to that point, I'm definitely getting into pinball because I love pinball. Doing a virtual pinball machine would be awesome. I'd be really excited to do that, just out of the budget at the moment. For the Google AIY, I pretty much have everything set up. I just need to do a video on it. And then you know, I don't know. I just got to get a video done on that because it is pretty cool. I just wanted to make sure the software, everything was set up. F was a yes. I'm going to be working on some stuff with that once these couple projects are done. Actually, after this one, I'm probably going to start doing some little things with that. But, you know, I know I've mentioned LaunchBox and Big Box in the past a few times. And I know I mentioned in the Facebook group the reasons why I haven't been able to do certain things. And I don't want to get into a long, you know, conversation about that now. But just having my hustle outside of YouTube has had to been strong lately. You know, with all the YouTube craziness going on, a lot of people's ad revenue and stuff like that has drastically gone down, mine included, even though my channel continues to grow. My views continue to grow, subscribers and all that. I make less on YouTube than I did 6 months ago. So that has set me back in that I do have to side hustle quite a bit more. But I'm hoping to get squared away with a bunch of stuff and start pumping out some awesome content with LaunchBox pretty soon. You do audio and video come across TVs like crazy. I'll hit you up, man. I'll hit you up. I don't know about, you know, I don't know, but could you explain the differences between MAME and FBA? Selling, yeah, I guess that could be some good income, Virgil. But Marcus, MAME, you know, MAME was set out to, you know, it's multiple arcade, you know, machine emulator. So it tries to encompass a whole wide variety of games. Final Burn Alpha is just essentially, you know, I don't know the whole thing about it, but Final Burn Alpha is just a whole other emulator that has different compatibility. But, you know, both fairly similar in a way. Depending upon the versions you use, but different support, different results, that kind of thing. My response to LaunchBox was pretty soon. Just a lot of other things have been going on lately, to where my time has been pulled away from some of the more crazy content that I need to do. But I am gonna, you know, as soon as this is done and I'm underway on another project, I'm going to be jumping into that because I really want to get a LaunchBox setup that is good done. And I have, you know, like 30,000 games I could throw on there. So I want to do it little by little, make sure everything's good, and just, you know, do little videos along the way. There was an all-you-can-play pinball place in Anaheim that shut down last year. That kind of sucks. You know, up the street a little bit from me, we do have the Pinball Museum, which has like thousands of games. And they just had a pinball event a few weeks ago. And then they do the Arcade Expo, which I'm not sure when the next Arcade Expo is going to be. I know I posted videos about it. But the Arcade Expo, you pretty much have free play on tons of games. So the Arcade Expo 2018 schedule is going to be Friday, March 16th, 17th, and 18th next year. Pretty awesome if you're in Southern California. I have gone each year. But check out that website if you're in California. LaunchBox is complicated. LaunchBox is complicated. What? I think that's why I like LaunchBox, because it's not complicated. I mean, as far as like comparing it to Hyperspin, it's not. Hyperspin's a beast to mess with. G-Dilla for sure. I just got to figure it out, but well, I mean, I'm going to figure out if I'm going to go all 3 days or what, because on Friday that week, it's at 2:30 to midnight. Saturday, it's 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Sunday, it's 11 to 7. So I got to see what's going on with that. If I go at least 1 day or all 3 days, I don't know. But got a little bit of time to figure it out. And then, LaunchBox at Rocket Launcher. Oh, I feel you. Yeah, that can be a little more. That could be a little more work, I suppose. But G-Dilla, what was the other one that we're going to? That Retro City. What was it called? Retro City Festival. Is that the other one we're going to be going out to in what, January 20th or something like that? Retro City Festival at Pomona, January 20th and 21st. So I'm definitely going there. But that's a pretty cool one too, or it should be pretty cool. I know a lot of people are going to be there. Yeah, Retro City Festival. That's going to be a cool one to peep out coming up. Just a couple months away. Shoot. I'm not sure what the ticket prices on those were. I don't think they were too crazy. $10 to $25. What is it? $10 if you're a kid? Weekend pass with Saturday early AM is $25. Weekend pass, what does that mean? Sunday pass $10. Weekend, oh, so the weekend pass for $25 is you go both days, and it's an extra $5 unless you purchased them separately. They'd be $30. So okay, that makes sense. Probably just pay the $25 even if I'm not sure I'm going to go to both days. Yeah, $25 for the whole weekend. That's what I'm going to pay for. I haven't paid for it yet, but that's what I'm going to do, the $25, even if I'm not 100% if I'm going to go both days, but probably should. Should have tried to get a booth over there, even though nobody knows me. That would have been pretty awesome. A booth of what? What would I sell? Some games? Some Sega Saturn repros, maybe? I know John Riggs said he might go there because Castlemania Games said he was going to pull him down and bring him with him. So I don't know if John Riggs is going to be 100% yet, but hopefully John Riggs is there. So that would be pretty cool. I'll sell Pi Zeros and carts. See, I don't even know if I'd want to do that. I mean, not selling Pi Zeros or anything, but I would like to, not be bound to an area. I want to walk around and explore. Sell vapes. Yeah, I'm out of that business. That's funny. What the hell is that, a key? Oh shit. Let's keep it moving. Have I beaten Mario Odyssey? Almost. I'm almost there. I was going to record a review video. I don't think I've ever done a review or a real review of a game yet, but I'm thinking about doing it, even though, it's a little late, but hey, who cares? I'm going to do a review of Super Mario Odyssey. Solid 2 out of 10. What? Just kidding. I've been staying away from anybody on YouTube who plays Super Mario Odyssey because I don't want anything spoiled for me. So I should have beaten it already, but I'm very close. But there's a lot of YouTubers I watch, like Dashi. I watch every video he puts out except for his Mario Odyssey ones. And then same thing with Cinemassacre. Whenever they play Mario Odyssey, I don't watch those videos because I don't want to be spoiled yet. So I just got to get that done. Next few days, I should have enough time to finish it up and then do some kind of review. even though I've never really done reviews. But why not? Why not do a review? Ashura Blast. Emergency. Okay, I got it. Oh shit. Pretty cool game. Pretty cool game. Luckily, Mike usually just beats pre-2000 games. Yeah. But he's been posting, he's been doing streams of it on their second channel. What is it, Cinemasker Plays or something like that? What the hell is their second channel called? Yeah, Cinemasker Plays. I've watched every video on Cinemasker Plays except for all the Mario Odyssey videos. Because he has, how many Mario Odyssey videos does he have up? He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 Mario Odyssey videos up, and I have not watched a single one. Just don't want to spoil anything. What up, Don G? They should have had a tiny arcade of this. I remember all the clones of this game back in the day. Don G, that's what we're doing right now, man. That's what this is. That's what this is. What the hell did I just load up? I was gonna say this wasn't loading. It just took forever. Sweet. A lot of shooters up on here. What we need to do is go garage hunting and flea market so we can have a bunch of trade bait. Yeah, I think that that thrift shop in Redlands, that big one off of Alabama, I've noticed occasionally, because they do auctions. I know you've been there. Occasionally they have nice like gaming type stuff in their auctions, and it doesn't seem like anybody bids on that stuff. Appreciate that, Don G. But yeah, I mean, the hunt for retro stuff is crazy though. That's the only thing. Damn, look at those jiggle physics there and the 2D animated art. That's intense. Bezel packs without the CRT mask on it. The bezel packs don't typically have any of that set up. You have to set up the shaders yourself. Well, I mean, there are some that have it, but none of these are. None of the ones from Phil's Doodles or the Mr. Harrius pack. The pack that Mr. Harrius put together, I don't think any of those have CRT shaders on. This, I have the shaders on, just, you know, you can turn them off. But there are bezel packs out there that don't have CRT stuff going on. if that's what you're referring to. Will on Parade 85, I don't know for sure an exact day, but as soon as I'm done doing what I'm doing right now, which is double checking all the arcade games and then fixing Daphne, then it's ready. The gray border, I mean. Oh, you mean like the actual bezel around the screen? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some out there. But yeah, Willen, just as soon as I'm done doing this and the artwork for Daphne, I gotta change the game list, which that'll only take like a matter of minutes. The CRTV border, yeah, I didn't realize that's what you meant. But I don't know, I'm pretty sure there are. I've never been big into bezels until I peeped out Phil's Doodles bezels, and I just love them. But I also like the ones that are in Mr. Harris's bezel pack as well. A repro of Earthbound for 20. If you're willing to wait, like, and you don't want to buy like the expensive repros from Retro Circuits, even though they, you know, say that that the Chinese ones aren't good, but Banggood.com has a lot of Super Nintendo repros, and I think they have Earthbound for like $13, but it takes a few weeks to get here. Yeah, they have Earthbound for $13.88. It takes like a couple weeks. The mic is static. Let me change something here. It might be this noise suppression that I have up on here. Let me know if that's better, or if that just like tweaked it the hell out. Yeah, but G Dilla, like it said, if you go to Banggood, you could find you can find the repros for pretty cheap, but they're the Chinese ones, the ones that don't have, like, I think most of them don't have screws. They're just those plastic ones. So I don't know. Random static bits. Well, I just took the one of the filters off, so hopefully that fixed it. Hopefully, anyway. Yeah, it might have been that filter that I had on. So I have a fan on, so I was trying to suppress the background noise. It's not like extremely hot, but since I don't have anything open in here, it's a little stuffy, and I kind of want some moving air. So that could have been part of it. Either if it's static, it's not the fan, it's just the noise suppression that I put on, but I just took that off. Yeah, I've ordered stuff from there. I've ordered NES repros. I haven't gotten any Super Nintendo repros from Banggood, but I've gotten an original NES, and they've all worked fine. But you know, there's that hysteria of some of these games not working or burning out your system. But I don't know. I haven't had an issue. And like with Super Nintendo, I'm getting, you know, I've already paid for it, so I'm getting the Super Analog NT. And what is that, in February or something like that? And with that being FPGA based and all that, I don't think that's going to have any issue. for a while, I only had, like, for a while I had like 8 pies, and then wound up getting rid of most of them, and then now I'm back to, like, I only had like 1, and then when I got that one from you, I had 2. So I still have that one and the one that I had at the time, but now, like, with buying those Google AI kits, and then I ordered another one prior to that, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 Pi 3s right now for no reason. EXF, what up? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm too worried with the Chinese repros. Like, I know Chinese repros and Nintendo 64 games are fine, like, because of the voltage and all that's, like, the same. But they say with NES and Super NES, the whatever, you know, I'm not all technical with it, but that it could possibly damage your system over time. But I've not had any issues. I still have a bunch of repros, but most of the ones I got, even the ones that you got from me, those were all from, like some American company that produces them, besides the Retro Circuits ones that I got that are a little pricey. But I mean, I use the NES repros all the time, and I haven't had an issue. Whenever I've sold a Raspberry Pi, I've never really made money off of them, for the most part. At least just, you know, single setups. When I've set up like bar tops and arcade machines for people, that's a little different, but I don't really see money in selling Raspberry Pis. So I'd like to keep at least 2. No, maybe 3, because I at least want to get one of those Google AIYs working. I don't know if I'll just leave it that way, let my kids mess with it. But I want to have at least 1 Pi that I work on, and that, like, I do right here, stream and do whatever I'm doing. And then I want 1 other one for my arcade stick, that Game Room Solutions arcade stick, because I really dig that thing. And then especially if I use these universal fighting boards, I'm going to want to keep a Pi in there. Any chance doing the video snap? Yeah. I mean, that's a very simple thing to do, using Universal XML Scraper. But I'll probably do another video on that because it's pretty simple. I'll do another video on that maybe even tomorrow, because that'll be a quick, simple one to do. The Odroid, no, I have not had an Odroid to mess with. Haven't had the money, or I don't know. I've had the desire, just I guess more the money issue, because I bought like a Tinker board and then never did anything with it. So I think that kind of put me off to getting an Odroid at the time. What I'm hoping for is a nice little mini PC that's not too outrageously priced, that you can slam out a decent LaunchBox build on. Like something like that would be cool. Yeah, it's just the way you set it up. It's just the way you set up the Universal XML to get the game lists to have it work that way. Like I said, it's pretty simple. Yeah, you know, with all the talk and all the videos and posts I've seen out there with the recall box on the Odroid, that has become interesting, but unfortunately at the moment out of the budget. But hopefully soon. I would like to jump into that. That would be pretty cool. Young Min Kim just subscribed. Appreciate that, man. Really do. Yeah, I'll peep it out. The hell is this? Pink ostrich. Pink ostrich. Let's go. Let's do this. What are you doing, fools? Give me that money. Ooh, this... Oh, snap. This guy on a Segway? Or one of those robot vacuums? Dithablue. This freaking little alien throwing bombs. What was this game? I'm adding this to my favorites. Battle Circuit. Why have I never played this? I've seen it plenty of times. Just have never played it. Yeah, Cody, the stream will be up. I'm going to let it upload. Just a stream for educational purposes anyway. Or just chatting and BS and little late night stream action with a little vapey vape in between. Version Saturday, February 3rd, 1996. That is very specific. Very, very specific. Another shooter. Well, that works. Battle K-Rod. So what is this, a sumo wrestling game? Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired myself. But it's all good. Multi-style fighting tournament. What the hell? Where's the sumo wrestler? I want to be that guy. I gotta fight another sumo? I couldn't fight like somebody else? Oh snap. Shit just got real. Wait, you only got kicks? What the hell? You win. E-Honda. E-Honda wins. Oh man. It's breaking out with those combos. Come on, you're a sumo wrestler. Really? You could jump and drop kick my head? Down? What the hell was that? Got him. I want to see who I got to fight next. It's that little chest rub action. What's going on here? I'll be #1 in the world. I owe it to those who've gone before me. Okay. So we move on to the next bracket. Oh, we got to fight some girl. This might be interesting. Oh, snap. Oh, smacked the shit out of me. Oh, freaking nut kick. You see that? Oh my god. Come on, man. She's whooping me. Come on. Oh, little flying elbow action. What? This dude's got to be like 400 pounds. There's no way you could pick him up like that. Oh my god. This is in English, so it had to have been released here. Battle K Road. Check that out another time. That was kind of messed up, man. She whooped my ass. Definitely not cool. A little submarine action. What's going on here? Damn, I already lost. The classic sumo nutcracker. Yeah, that was harsh, man. What is this, a light gun game? Yeah, freaking 500 sumo versus a little 90-pound girl. I don't know. Alright, well, we're done with that. Battletoads. G-Dilla, this is, if you're still there, this is the thing that I was saying. I need to borrow some, what you call it, GameCube controllers. This is an adapter to use GameCube controllers on the Nintendo Switch. So that might be kind of interesting. I don't currently have any GameCube controllers. But you can use it on Nintendo Switch or on the PC, so that's kind of neat. That would be really cool to use, you know, playing Smash Brothers on a Hyperspin or LaunchBox build. That would be pretty cool. Stomping time, mofo. Willin'? Yes, I do. Gots to. Gotta make sure everything works. Well, I mean, I check all the arcade stuff. All the arcade and Neo Geo. Everything else, like I put out a test for people who are sponsors. If you wanted to be a sponsor, you could be a sponsor. That's what, you know, you're a sponsor, obviously. But sponsors, you know, I give them a little early access on stuff to, if they want to test out and report to me any issues they find, which was a pretty good help this last time around. But all the arcade stuff I check myself because, you know, like Nintendo, you put Nintendo on there, everything is going to work, or it should work. Arcade stuff can be iffy because you gotta peep out the, you know, the configurations, the arcade stuff and whatnot. So I try to make sure everything's set. Faux show, G-Dilla. I'll be home all day until like, well, I got to pick up my kids around 2:30. Then I think after that I got to head out for a while. Just for like a couple hours though. Big Karnak. General test. General test of what? Let's say the music sounded kind of weird. I think it was just meant to be like that, though. Get the hell out of here, Cobra. And you got monkeys attacking your ass, too? Oh, my God. Oh. There's a new adapter. I have adapters for that right here. One's for Xbox, the other's PlayStation for the Switch. And these are also from Brook. I'm not sure how these work. I haven't peeped them out yet, but I'll be doing a video on these pretty soon as well. The Nincade, the Universal Fighting Board, the Super Converters for the Nintendo Switch. So I'll be doing videos on these. Video on this. The GameCube converter. The Universal Fighting Boards from Brook. And then the Nincades. I'll be using these on the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, which you can use them on the NES as well, but I don't want to do that. I want to use them on the SNES Classic. Virgil Kellogg, appreciate that, man. I really do. Can I ask if you know where it's hard to find Xbox? I don't know nothing about Xbox emulation at the moment. May look into that in the near future. Pascal, it's by Mayflash. Yeah, I heard. I haven't seen that. I think somebody mentioned it. You might have been you. I think I heard somebody mention that before. If it's an all-in-one, that'd be pretty cool. Let me see what it is. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned that and I looked at that. Supports Wii U Pro controllers, or is this a different one I'm looking at? Oh no, this is it. The Magic NS. Somebody brought this up to me and I looked it up. Connect your PS4, PS3 wirelessly, blah, 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 to your Switch, PS3 or PC. So you could use your Switch controllers on the PC or use wired controllers. That's pretty cool. Wonder how much that's going for. That's something I probably should pick up. Oh, they're going for 29 bucks on Amazon anyway. That's pretty cool. I don't know if anybody wants to check these out, but that's actually pretty nice. Yeah, it said it was 28. If anybody wants to check it out, there's a link to it. But the Magic NS wireless controller adapter for the Nintendo Switch and PC supports both Bluetooth and wired USB controllers. $28.95. So that's pretty cool. I might have to grab one of those. I think the only thing with using other controllers on the Nintendo Switch, I mean, unless it's like a is that you don't have the like the high definition rumble and whatnot. Assert 310, who's your favorite gaming characters? Want to send you over a canvas if that's cool. That would be awesome. I always, you know, some of my favorite games are the earlier Final Fantasies, Final Fantasy 2 and 3 on the Super Nintendo, or Final Fantasy 4 and 6. Like I always loved Cecil from Final Fantasy 4. Like all the characters from Final Fantasy 6. Love Super Mario, love Link, you know, all the classics I really love. That would be cool, man. I appreciate that. Best way to run multi-disc PSX games? Either you can get the PBP files where they're all in one, but you have to pay close attention. If they're too small, then you know there's going to be something wrong with those files. But I like what is biomechanical toy? Like on here, for example, I'll give you an example. Like here, you know, these I have all separated. Final Fantasy VII Disc 1, 2, and 3. You can do a PvP with them all in one, and then you would just swap the disc inside RetroArch. So you'd hit select and X, and then go to the disc utility thing that's in there, and you would eject the disc and then have it swap to the next one. So that's one way to do it. But then the other way to do it is to just have, you know, each disc separated, which is one of the simpler ways. But if you have everything in a PvP in one file, the disk swapping is simple. But like I said, you have to look and make sure the file you have is good, because some PvPs are over condensed, and you could run into issues. And why would you want to play? You know, you could always back up your save file and use it on a different ROM, but you know, you wouldn't want to go through you know, playing a game and then not being able to swap the disc. Daniel, yeah, big ass pile of controllers and no GameCube controllers. I haven't had a GameCube in a while, and I've been hesitant in getting back into GameCube. I think right now with the systems that I collect for, which is Nintendo, the original NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64 is a big one for me, and then the Sega Saturn and Dreamcast. I think I'm done with that. That's it for now. You can get Watch Dogs for free via Uplay. That's pretty interesting. I actually never played Watch Dogs. There's some places out there with some good PvP sets. Let me see. Emu Paradise has some. The ISO Zone. There was another one that I was getting from. Can't remember. It wasn't those two. I mean, I've gotten them from both of those. But to have like the all-in-one, I'm trying to remember what the site was, because it wasn't the ISO Zone or Emu Paradise. It was somewhere else, and it's not popping up on my search. I don't know. There's another website. I'm not sure. Will on Parade, it's gonna have more, and it's gonna have it has more. It has more. Arcade Punks. I haven't really gone through Arcade Punks ROM sets. I need to check it out at some time. But yeah, this version has more to it than the other version that people tested out. This has quite a bit more testing to it, a lot more polish, and more games. I have two Sega Saturns at the moment. One that I got from G Dilla, which was really clean. It was lightly like yellowed, very lightly. It doesn't even come up in video too much. Even in person, it doesn't look bad. But that one is not modded or anything. It's a Japanese Model 2, the white version. And I think that one, nobody ever played it, because when I really look at it, it's clean. And then the one that I have right next to me that's modded with the Phantom IC chip, the coloring to it, it's not discolored at all, or at least it doesn't look like it, but it does have some minor scuffs and stuff to it. So it's kind of, you know, I wish it was in better condition, but it still looks clean. But it is Japanese white version, the Model 2. But yeah, I have 2 Japanese Sega Saturns complete in box. Just a little much, but it's all good. The modded Saturn I got from a guy that's in California. He sells on eBay. And I know there's services that'll do the you know, the mods for you if you already have a system. But if you have a Japanese or a US or a, you know, a PAL region, you could just do the pseudo Saturn action replay boot. And you could typically, you can set it up yourself, but you know, with the action replay, if you want to set up pseudo Saturn on it to play backups or repros, you know, to me, it's, you risk damaging your Sega Saturn because you got to take it apart and like swap discs and stop the drive from spinning, and I'm not comfortable with doing that. So I didn't want to set up my own pseudo Saturn because I don't have a junk Saturn just sitting around. So, you know, I didn't want to do that, but you can get an action replay for $30 or so, and an action replay will allow you to play any region just without modding anything. You can play any region games. But if you want to play backups, you have to install pseudo Saturn on it. And like I said, that's a little bit of a process to do. It's not hard, but like I said, I don't want to risk damaging my system doing it. Or you can pay somebody. Typically, they're charging about $20 extra on top of what the action replay sells for, to have it already installed on it. Which that's up to you if that's a fair price or not. But if you look on eBay, typically a pseudo Saturn action replay is going to sell for like $45 to $50, so around $20 more than what the actual action replay goes for. Appreciate it, Brian. Catch you next time. Appreciate you stopping in, man. Thank you, sir. You can play as Roy or Arnold. These guys look like orcs from Warhammer, or from the hell was that football game? Oh, that works. Blades of Steel. I think it's well worth it, man. And then the thing too is, you know, I found out, you know, because I was always like curious, like, man, what if the drive burns out on you? But the Sega Saturn, it's actually cheap and easy to swap out the laser if you ever have to. Like, you can do that yourself for, you know, under $30. So I might wind up picking up an extra CD laser just to have down the road, just in case. Which I guess, you know, if I were to make pseudo Saturn carts, that would be something like, hey, I could always buy a new drive, but I mean, don't really want to have to go down that route. Don't want to have to if I don't need to. Want to try to avoid damaging a system. Mutant League Football, that's it. I played this before. Get those cakes. Oh, damn it. Oh well, that's all good. Block hole. Let me see. Block hole. All right, let's blast through the rest of the bees before I call it quits for the night. That'll be a good place to stop. Is that a 3D Tetris? What's going on here? Blood Brothers, one of my favorite games of all time. I like Cabal as well, but I always loved this game. Blood Warrior. Oh, this is the one with the... When the next stream will be. I'm planning on trying to do a few more streams this week. Been a little busy to do streams lately, but I'm hoping this week to do a few more. God, this game is so ridiculous. I think this was when I had to try like 4 different versions of the ROM to find one that worked. And even this one's like not even working 100%. Let me see. FB Alpha. Let's try 2012. With Cody, I don't really mess with Cody, but if you're in the Facebook group, and I'm pretty sure there's a link in the description, a lot of people in there know what's up. I don't really mess with it, so I don't really have an idea. I thought I had this like perfectly running before. Like the sound is off and it's slowed down. It started playing quicker. I don't know, I'll have to double check that one. Yeah, I wish I could help you with Cody, but I've never messed with Cody. Never. Let me put this Blood Warrior in my favorites so I don't forget to check it out again. Main vertical. There we go. Bunch of weird messages. It's all good. Oh, I forgot I ordered Sonic Forces for the Nintendo Switch. I hope that game doesn't suck. Sonic Forces. Maybe I'll stream Sonic Forces tomorrow. Or not. Oh, I've played this before. This is pretty fun and stupid. Body Slam. That was a cool game. Bomberman World. This game is for use in Japan only. Bonk. Special arcade version. I've played this before. Get out of here. Alright, well that works. The hell was that? Oh, that's the arcade version. And then that's Bond's Adventure, not Bonk's Adventure. What? Boogie Wings. Is MAME easier to set up on the PC or the Pi 3? Well, like Virgil said, it's easier if somebody else does it for you, but it's the same, essentially, depending upon the version you use. If it's a LibRetro core, to me it's a lot easier. If it's a LibRetro MAME, it's a lot easier. If it's like the normal MAME, a normal MAME version, it's too much to have to deal with, but still not difficult. They're both the same. It's just dependent upon the version you use. They're the same to set up. Either on PC or Pi, it's exactly the same setup if you're, depending upon the version you're using. But as far as simplicity goes, as far as once everything's up and running, a front end anyway, RetroPie is easier to have everything set up than, something on the PC anyway, in my opinion. LaunchBox is pretty easy to set up, but it's still a lot more work than setting up a RetroPie image or front end anyway. But as far as just emulator configuration, I'd say they're both typically the same. I mean, I've set them up on both, and to me it just seems it's essentially the same, even though the PC MAMEs are more up to date and have more compatibility and whatnot. But as far as the interface, as far as setting up controls, it's typically the same. If you catch what I'm saying. I don't know, I'm kind of tired, so I might be just rambling now. Bubble Bobble obviously works. Yeah, I mean, setting up MAME on the PC or through LaunchBox, it's more of not so much the control setup, you know, because it's fairly similar. It's the having the proper, you know, ROM set and the you know, the correct emulator versus ROM set. It can become complicated. What the hell is this? That doesn't work. Pre-built LaunchBox? I've seen like none, I think. I don't know. I'm not even sure what that is, Pascal. I don't even know what that is, man. A pay safe card. Couldn't say I have any clue what that is. What the hell? The hell are the buttons for this? That is strange. Is this a dual stick game? Yeah. I think this might be a dual stick game. Bullfight. This is one of my favorites. One of my recent favorites that I discovered. It's like a prepaid thing. Could it use it for Mega? Oh, yeah. I don't use Mega or anything. Burger Time's good. Bust a Move. I think I have this on here twice. Damn it. That's alright. So you play as a Slinky. Nice. Of favorites only. Might do something like that later. So there we go. I'm going to end it with the testing at the moment. In the morning, I'm going to do a lot more. There'll be a lot of Snow Brothers, Sunset Riders, Blood Brothers, Street Fighter, Samurai Showdown 2. Stuff like that. Those are some of my favorites. But then as far as consoles go, that's a whole other list. So I'm going to end it there with testing up the Bygone. I'm going to do a bunch in the morning when I get up. Try to smash this out and then do some more little cleaning up and sparkle magic on this. So I appreciate you guys stopping in. It's kind of late. I'm a little tired. Been up pretty early today. Appreciate everybody stopping in. Appreciate everyone smashing that like button. We have, you know, a little super chat from Virgil. Really appreciate that. I know we had a new sponsor the other day, which was not during a stream, from Unexploded Scotsman. So I appreciate that as well. And I appreciate everybody stopping in and hanging out. It means the world to me. So I appreciate it, guys. Can't say I appreciate it enough. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That's probably like 10. I appreciate it. So thank you, guys. I'm tired. Thank you. I will catch y'all next time. Boom. Peace out, guys. Thank you.